What are the most common mistakes during a no contact period? Hey guys, my name is Danny and I'm your life and relationship coach. Today we are talking about mistakes that people commonly make during a no contact period. I hear this all the time. It is something that frequently comes up in my one-on-one coaching sessions, and people ask me, Coach Danny, when should I reach out, right? Or did I reach out too early? Or crap, I made a mistake. I said this, I said that, I didn't mean to do that. I accidentally ended the no contact too early. I accidentally answered one of their texts. I get it, guys. A no contact period is difficult no matter what. And I say this many times because it's the reality of the situation, right? Being in no contact sucks because all you want to do is reach out to your ex. All you want to do is rectify the situation. You want to make amends, you want to make things better, and you want to prove to your ex that you are worthy, that you are able to do your best the second time around, and you feel like you missed that opportunity. You feel like you weren't given the chance to put your best foot forward. So you are driven by emotion. And when we are driven by emotion, what ends up happening is that we make irrational decisions. So, what are some of the common mistakes that I see frequently when it comes to being in a no contact period? First and foremost, the most common one that I see, the number one mistake that I see is that you reach out too early. Remember, there is a reason for why you are in a no contact period. And there's a strategy behind it. So if you have been in a long term relationship and the relationship is ended, and the purposes of you going into a no contact is to make your partner miss you, to make them realize the repercussions of their actions, to make them start to envision their life without you and get them to understand that that's not what they want. If you reach out too early, you derail the entire process, right? It's not enough time for your partner to miss you, which is why we usually recommend at a minimum a 30-day no contact. Now, it's completely variable. It is up to you, your comfort level, how you feel, where you are in your self-development. That 30 days may get extended to 40 days, to 50 days, to 60 days. It really just depends. Again, also on the severity of the breakup and the circumstances around why you broke up. Now, if you're in a short-term relationship and you've only been dating for a couple of months or a few months and you go into a no contact period, that no contact period may not be as long because you haven't really developed a strong foundation in that relationship, right? 2 or 3 months is not a really long time to build a solid friendship, to build enough memories that your partner is going to reminisce on those and miss you and want to come back. So the timeline may be a little bit shorter, but at the end of the day, whatever the timeline may be, do not reach out too early. I understand the temptation is there. I understand that it all feels counterintuitive. And if you are trying to fight for your ex, why are you just going into a period of silence? Why aren't you, communicating with your ex? Why aren't you fighting for your ex? Understand, a lot of this process is counterintuitive. A lot of the process does not feel right, right? Because our instinct is telling us to do one thing, but we as coaches are telling you to do something else. It's about trusting the process and understanding that there is a reason for why we are advising and recommending that you go into a no contact period. The second most common thing that I see is that people don't focus on their 3 R's, right? And the 3 R's is something that I deemed and that I came up with because it kind of consolidates what the reflection and the growth process should be like during a no contact period. And the 3 R's basically stand for reevaluation, reinvestment, and reinvention. So you are reevaluating your situation, right? You are taking a step back. You are saying, how did we get here? Why did we break up? What were the reasons for the breakup? Is it something that I did? Is it something that he did? Was there a lack of communication? Were there things that we just weren't connecting on anymore? Was there a breach of trust? Whatever the case may be, it's about taking a step back and asking yourself the hard questions. Did you become insecure in the relationship? Did you become needy? Did you become clingy? Was your behavior not normal in the sense that that's not how you usually act? Really understanding yourself, getting to know how you operate on an emotional level so that you become familiar and aware of your needs and your expectations. Because one of the primary things to make a relationship successful is to be hyper aware of your needs and your expectations and be able to communicate that to your partner. right? Another part of that is being able to set healthy boundaries. If you are unable to set healthy boundaries, then you run the risk of getting run over or getting taken advantage of feeding your insecurities, of becoming less confident and having less self-esteem. So all of these things are things that you should be starting to work on during a no contact period, because you are being given the space and the time to do so, right? So how do you rebuild your self-confidence and your sense of self? It's really about reinvesting in yourself. So things that once used to make you happy that you may not do anymore, reinvest in those things, right? Whether it be cycling, photography, rock climbing, swimming, whatever it is, get back in the habit of doing those things, because what it will do is it will boost your self-confidence, it'll boost your self-esteem, and you'll start to regain that sense of self-identity and independence that your ex fell in love with in the beginning. Oftentimes, the reason why people break up is because they've lost themselves in a relationship, right? They don't know who they are anymore. And if they don't know who they are, if you don't know who you are, how is your partner ever going to know, right? People only know us as well as we know ourselves. So this period is a blessing, right? It's a gift. It's the ability to take time and utilize it for something good. And the last part of it is obviously the reinvention phase, right? You're the 2.0 version of yourself. You are operating at your peak performance level. You are feeling great. You're feeling amazing. You have your confidence back. You have your groove back, and all of those things will translate energetically and will re-attract your ex back to you. But again, you have to invest the time. And oftentimes what I find is that people in a no contact period will just kind of sit back, wait until the clock runs out and say, okay, now I'm ready to reach out to my ex. But they don't invest the time in the work, in working through your issues and developing as an individual, because that is a big piece to the puzzle. And if you miss that piece, the puzzle is not complete. The third one is sending the accountability letter too early, right? And maybe not even knowing the format of the accountability letter. If this is something that you struggle with, I highly recommend that you go to the product section of our website, withmyexagain.com. We have a product on there. I believe it's an audio or a video file that walks you through the accountability letter, what the perfect accountability letter looks like, when you should send it, and how it's structured and broken down, because that is something that is going to be crucial in the process of getting your ex back. And if you don't execute it properly, it can actually derail the entire process. So I highly recommend that product. I promise you it will help you through the writing the letter. The accountability letter at the end of the day is really, again, about accountability, understanding the mistakes that you made, and owning up to them. But it's not just about that. It's about owning up to them in a way that does not make your partner feel guilty, right? So, I know that I made this mistake. I know that I did this. I should have done this better. You don't want the letter to turn into me, right? Because at the end of the day, that's not very productive. That's not going to entice your partner to want to come back. What you want to hyper focus on is the changes that you are hyper aware of the fact that you need to make, how you are actively making those changes, and what your intentions are. And the accountability letter product will help you to structure that, and it will be your guide. It'll be your roadmap to writing a proper, perfect accountability letter. But if you send it too early, you can derail the whole process, like I said, right? Because if you're a week into no contact and you decide to take an accountability letter and send it to them, you have not had enough time to really work through your issues. You may acknowledge and know the mistakes that you made, but do you know at a core level, at the root, why you made those mistakes? If you do not know, you are not ready to express those things. You are not ready to explain to your significant other why you made the mistakes in the first place. So do not send the letter too early. The fourth mistake that I see all the time is answering your ex's phone call. Don't do it. I get the temptation, right? The entire purpose of a no contact is trying to get your partner to miss you and to re-engage with you and to re-attract. So the moment your phone rings and it's your ex, you automatically think, got him, great, perfect. Everything worked out. The no contact period has worked. Even if I haven't fully completed it, I'm going to answer the phone. The reason why I advise against answering the phone in that moment is A, you are not emotionally prepared, and B, it's most likely that you haven't been in the no contact period long enough. Now, I also don't advise going against your authentic self, right? So if for you, you feel rude or you feel mean or you feel like gross because you are ignoring this individual, it's okay to shoot them a text and say, hey, I'm busy, or hey, look, I'm currently needing to work on myself. I would appreciate it if you gave me the space and the time, whatever it is that you need to do. But at the end of the day, I don't want you to reconnect with your ex too early, and people always make that mistake. And if you answer the phone too early, you are running the risk of falling back into old patterns of behavior. The last and final one is dating too early, right? If your goal is to get your ex back, then there is no purpose in going out there and dating other people right away. Now, I'm not saying that there should not be, that you shouldn't have the ability to go and date. That is your call. That is completely up to you. I'm not going to tell you whether you should or whether you shouldn't. But if your goal is to win back your ex, if you go out and start dating other people, you may complicate your situation. I can't tell you how many times I have had client sessions with people, with men, women, where they go out, they start dating, and guess what? The person that they started dating or the person that they went out with actually has a connection to their ex, and their ex finds out, and it derails the whole process. Be very careful in regards to doing that and losing sight of what your goal is, right? And I hear this phrase all the time, and it's not something that I particularly agree with. And it's, in order to get over your ex, you have to get under somebody else. I'm not a fan of that. Really, the process should be self-development, self-awareness, mindfulness, working on yourself, getting through your issues. Because the reason for why you are unable to move on from your ex is because there are lingering emotions and feelings that you have not dealt with. And distracting yourself by utilizing another person is not the answer. If you related to this video, if you like this video, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below. Maybe you have an opinion about the video. Maybe you have some questions. Maybe you've been in this circumstance before and you have some tips and tools that work for you. I would love for you to leave that in the comment section down below. I tried to read as many of them as possible. I also try to answer as many as possible as well. Maybe you just want a little bit more information. You want to dive in a little bit deeper. You can visit us at www.withmyexagain.com, where you can find a multitude of different articles, blogs, and videos related to this subject and many other subjects as well. Maybe you want to book a coaching session and you just feel like you need a little bit more support, a little bit more help throughout the no contact period. You can book directly with me or any of the other amazing coaches that we have on the team through the website. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you are staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you soon.